to Earstravagent Adventures. I'm your host, Rachel, alongside Katie, here to whisk you away on another thrilling journey through the magical realms of Disney, Universal, and beyond. Let's set sail and visit another of Disney Cruise Line ships, this time the Wonder. But first, thank you to our sponsor, Alonzi Travel, the ultimate family theme park experts. Planning theme park trips can be overwhelming, but Alonzi Travel is here to make it stress-free. With their years of experience, they're your lightning lane to hassle-free travel. They handle all the details, allowing you to focus on having fun with your loved ones. Whether you dream of Hogwarts or Disneyland, they've got it covered, tailoring the trip to your family's needs. Visit alonzi-travel.com/take the trip for a magical adventure.
Yay. I love how you have different cruise fits. Like, we both have a cruise fit on, and they are so complete opposite of each other.
To be honest, most of my cruise clothes are packed because I'm going on a cruise very soon.
I pulled this out of my pile of clothes to be packed because we are both going on a cruise like the same week.
Like literally the same week. I'm just going through my Amazon phone. There we go. I needed to remind myself what statue this was. To remind myself how many times I've been on this cruise ship.
This is Ariel, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Because it's so funny we're doing the Wonder today because I featured the Wonder in my newsletter that I sent out yesterday. So
how coincidental!
It's cruise season. It's the season to book cruises. Yes.
It is, and it's funny because we're not going on the Magic. Neither one of us is going on a Magic class. We're both going on the Dream class because you're going on the Dream and I'm going on the Fantasy, and they're sister ships.
Yes.
That's hilarious. So but we're talking about the Wonder today, which is one of the original ships. It set sail. Can anyone guess? It's a podcast song. Yeah, Katie, what's your guess?
1999.
Yeah. Talk about a blast from the past. But it has had a refurbishment in 2016, in 2019, and a short dry dock in 2023. So it's not, don't get me started on mahogany, okay? Let's not.
It's got the mahogany.
We all know it irritates me. But it has had updates, and I like some of the updates. So very exciting, but it is, like we said, the Magic class. This is the original class of ship. The Wonder is the sister ship to the Magic. And I wouldn't say unique, but what is specific to these ships is they are the smallest of Disney ships.
Yes.
And they also have the Aqua Lab. That is their water slide.
And a lot of people like the Magic and the Wonder because they are smaller. Like, they like that it is a smaller ship. It's easier to get around. It does not feel very crowded. It's an intimate ship.
Agree. Now, I did, like I said, I had to remind myself. I've only been on the Wonder.
You went to Alaska, right?
No, that was on the Magic.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I thought it was the Wonder too, and I'm looking at it, and no, the statue we were with.
Are you sure? Because I pulled your pictures and stole them because
then it's been twice.
Okay, I'm almost positive I pulled your pictures from Alaska yesterday because that's what was in my newsletter was cruising to Alaska on the Wonder. It's definitely the Wonder.
Okay, well then twice because it was the Wonder. Strangely, was in Galveston once.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so I was on the Wonder out of Galveston, but it doesn't do that anymore.
That's one of the things I like about the Magic and the Wonder is they get around. These ladies get around. Like, you really kind of never know where they're going to be from year to year. Like they just do kooky things.
Which we are going to get to. But first, let's talk about food because everybody cares about the food.
Food, yes. On the Wonder, you wanted me to do this, right? They have Tiana's Place as a sit-down restaurant, Animator's Palette, Tritons, and all of those are your rotational dining selections. So that means that you are going to go to one of those every single night that you are on board. Your wait staff is going to go with you. If you're on a longer sailing, you may repeat one or two of them, but you are going to definitely go to each one. There is, of course, Cabana's Buffet, which is the buffet that all the kids love, have all the kids' favorites. And then you've got some quick service options: Daisy Delights, Pinocchio's Pizzeria, Pete's Boilers Bites. I'm going to need you to tell me what they have at that one. And there is one adult only extra charge experience, which is Palo.
First, Tiana's place is very adorable because Tiana is in her beautiful silk flapper dress, and they do a performance, and Lewis comes out as well. And they have a jazz band, and it's the most delightful dining experience. Love it. Pinocchio's Pizzeria is self-explanatory.
Pizza.
Daisy's Delights is like salads, so it's
nice.
the healthy food. And then Pete's Boiler Bites is like hamburgers and hot dogs.
Oh, so
it's all that's by the pool.
Sounds to me like we do not have as unique and as many quick service bites as we do on other ships.
Don't get
like right off the bat.
Don't get ahead of me. That's in the cons.
I'm just observing.
We don't, because this is the original ship class, and because they're smaller, you don't have as much space. So, but Palo, it's the original Palo.
Yeah.
So, but where the Wonder, man, the brain is so slow today. But patience, people, patience with me today.
Well, just be patient with both of us, because Disney dropped a promo yesterday. We're both getting ready to go on extended trips, and in
the holidays, we're
just doing our best.
Fine, we're here. These are some of the best shows. So Frozen is one of the nightly shows, which fits because it goes to a lot of cold weather destinations. It also has the Disney Dream, which is an original production. It's cute. It's a little, if I remember correctly, a person is having dreams and they get taken to different like Disney movies. And then the Golden Mickeys is like the Emmys for Disney. It's really cute and I like it. I've seen it enough times now that I don't see it every time, but it's cute.
The Golden Mickeys is on the Dream too, and I'm canceling my tequila tasting because we would miss the Golden Mickeys. So
I'm not doing we tasting because I want to do pirate night. So
yeah, that's what's so hard is I don't think people realize how much stuff there is to do on a Disney cruise, that you really do have to pick and choose, what's the most important. I'm sad about it.
And if you've never done the shows before, like I would prioritize the shows because number one, they're free. We love anything that's free. Yes, number two, Disney is first and foremost an entertainment company. So they're going to do entertainment well. And yes, this is geared for kids. And yes, it's Disney-fied. Of course it is. But it's cute. And
agreed.
Dress up. Usually the Golden Mickeys is on like the formal night, so it kind of ties in to the
night one.
Vibe.
Night one for
night
us.
One?
That's what I've been hearing. So yeah.
Okay, well you'll update us because
let you know.
Yeah. Now, Katie kind of alluded to this. The Magic and the Wonder, these girls get around.
Yeah, they do. They're busy ladies.
So why don't you tell us where it goes?
All right. The Wonder, depending on the season, can be anywhere kind of all over the globe. Australia, New Zealand, the South Pacific, which those are transitional cruises from Australia to Hawaii. Hawaii, which that is one of my bucket lists, right? Like I'll talk about it in a second.
Yeah.
Alaska, Mexico, California, and Vancouver. So there are, it's a couple times, like only two that I've seen in the most recent years, where on the way back from the Australia sailings to get to Vancouver to start the Alaska sailings for the summer, there are Alaskan cruises. Oh my gosh, Hawaii cruises.
No, so right. So that's how it does. It starts in Australia, and then they do that repositioning cruise from the South Pacific to Hawaii, yes. And then they do a couple in Hawaii, and then they do from Hawaii to San Diego, and then they do a couple in San Diego, and then they go from San Diego to Vancouver, and then they go in reverse.
Yeah,
but I haven't seen any that go from Vancouver to Australia. It's always smaller reposition ones.
Yeah, it's a stop. And I have been Hawaiian. I have been eyeing the Hawaiian one for a long time. Like that's definitely one of my Disney bucket lists. Do what?
I'm really glad you're a mess today too.
We both are. We were supposed to film this about 4 hours ago, but Katie was not ready.
Welcome to the chaos of your Earstravagent Adventures. So I think the Wonder, to me, has the most diverse, one of the most diverse. Granted, we haven't talked about the Dream or the Magic yet, but they're cool repositioning cruises. But one of them, it goes to Fiji during the South Pacific. Like, how cool is that? And so how many night sailings are these? Anywhere from a 2-night to a 15-night.
Go all around the world on the Wonder.
And the 2 nights are around Australia. I think that's really cool. Like, if I was already in Australia, visiting Australia, I think I would do a cruise, because Australia, like, you guys don't understand how big it is until you've oh, I'm here. It's going to be super easy to get to New Zealand. No, it is not. Australia is on the map. It doesn't look as big as it is. It is gigantic.
Well, and I think I was about to bring up that point for our listeners who may not know what a repositioning cruise is. It's a one-way cruise. It's a one-way cruise. So, it is leaving whatever sailing itinerary that it was doing to get to the other part of the world where it's going to start the new sailing. So it's a one-way cruise.
Yeah, thank you. It's a point to point, not round trip. Yes. Which a lot of people like to do those because they typically are actually a little less expensive, because Disney or cruise lines in general do this, not just Disney. Every cruise line does this. They have to get the boat from, let's say, Australia. They have to get it from Australia to Hawaii because that's their next stop. But instead of having an empty ship, they're like, well, let's make a little bit of money because our crew has to be here, so might as well. So repositioning cruises are a really great value on any cruise line. But I mean, if you're stopping in Fiji, my gosh.
I mean, if you're going to bucket list destinations, do it.
Twist my arm.
Well, and always, we've talked about this before. A Disney cruise is a great way to start international travel with your children because it is a very controlled environment. It is, it's safe. You're not packing up, jumping from city to city, which is why I want to do the Hawaii one, because I would love to island hop. And I'm like, I don't want to pack up and go to this hotel and this hotel, and you get to experience that on a cruise. And what better than Disney to have your children with you and let them start becoming international travelers in childhood. Yeah,
100%. That's another reason I like these for the Mediterranean. For the very similar reason is, seeing Europe is hard. I plan European travel for lots of families, and that's the feedback that they always get is our kids are young. This is really hard. I'm like, yeah, you're right. So let's do a cruise, because then you have a home base. You don't have to worry about packing up your suitcase a million times. You don't have to worry about transportation. You don't have to worry about anything. You just get on the cruise.
Weird food.
Well, look.
I mean,
if I'm stopping in Hawaii, I'm going to be eating food on the island. I'm not going to be.
Well, same, because we're adults, and my kids are very adventurous eaters, but I have lots of clients all the time that they're like, my kids only eat chicken strips and mac and cheese. Well, you know where that is? The cruise ship. No matter where it is.
Great point. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm going to keep saying Fiji because it's an excellent point. But Fiji has interesting food. And for people who are adventurous eaters, yeah, fantastic. I'm not eating on the boat. I'm going to eat in the place. That is such a good point. A lot of kids maybe like buttered pasta, and that's not something you're going to find everywhere. So yes, we love a Disney cruise. And every time we talk about a Disney cruise ship, we just remember all the reasons why we love it.
Which is why y'all won't see us for the next 2 weeks, because we're going to cruise it.
Bye. So from all these destinations, you can tell it has many different cruise ports. So year round, it's different. Like Katie said, they have different seasonalities. Specifically, Alaska, you can only operate in Alaska during the summer, not because legally you can only operate, but like it's too cold. So you only want to operate in Alaska seasonally. So they go out of Sydney, Melbourne, San Diego, Vancouver, Auckland, and Honolulu. I have had several clients who've done the Auckland is in New Zealand.
Oh.
Yeah. I've had several clients do the San Diego one. Catalina Island gets such rave reviews.
Catalina wine mixer.
That's
how unhinged we are today.
Look, that's a deep cut, and I appreciate that deep cut. So would my husband, okay? We love San Diego. San Diego's a great port, and I don't know about you. I have a lot of West Coast clients, and this is great for them.
This is the feedback I get a lot about that is that they need a permanent ship leaving from San Diego. Like California wants to cruise, and they want to cruise with Disney, and they are limited to those seasonal cruises, and they don't care for it. Yeah.
And it's not just Disney that has the seasonality in San Diego. The San Diego season is really short, and Disney has 5 new cruise ships coming, which we are so excited about, and we're hoping we get a permanent port in Galveston. And if we do, then hopefully that means the seasonality in San Diego will be extended, because even honestly, the season in Alaska is kind of short because a lot of cruise lines will operate into almost October, but Disney stops at the beginning of September. Mm-hmm. So they have limited time in these ports because they don't have as many cruise ships, but we're getting more cruise ships now. So we are very excited to see how that's going to change the landscape, because the Adventures making a brand new debut in Singapore.
Yes, the Adventure,
which is exciting. And I wonder if it's going to replace the Sydney and Melbourne, because they're right there. I wonder if that's going to be.
I don't know. It's like we could speculate on what all the new ships.
I was about to say it's a speculation game at this point, but having that ship coming to that area is going to change stuff up. But that makes it great, because the Wander is a diverse destination queen. We love her, and
getting around out there.
I think it's weird that her statue's Ariel, though.
So I was thinking about that yesterday when I was pulling those pictures, because I was like, Ariel, like. But I think you have to think back probably 99 when she came out. She's right after the Magic. This was all new for Disney. Like, they didn't know. I feel like the Destiny would be the perfect ship to, like, because it's the Adventure and it's this and like, Well,
I just thought it was weird because they've got Minnie and Mickey and Donald. Mm-hmm. So why aren't we sticking with like the Fab Five? And this is another tangent. Why is Mickey in a rain outfit in his, which one is he on? Is he on the Magic? He's on the Magic. He's on the Magic.
The rain outfit is the Alaska sailing.
Yeah, he's on the Magic.
I'm confused.
His statue.
Oh, like the statue. He's in a rain outfit.
Yes.
I've never noticed. I haven't been on the Magic.
Yes. Anyways. Donald is a captain. Donald is a captain, and that's like
as he should be.
As he should be. Anyways, tangent over. What are the pros of the Wander? Since I'm apparently the only person who's been on any cruise ships with for me, and we kind of said this, the fact that it's smaller to me is a pro. I've cruised and toured on Royal Caribbean, and I realized lots of things about myself. I don't like gigantic mega cruise ships. I don't like when there's so much going on. You do? Yeah, we're very different cruisers. I don't like stimulation overload. I don't like so many decks that I can't walk between some of them. I don't like all that. I like the smaller ships. So we usually get a stateroom on deck like 6 or 7. So I'm only a couple decks between the dining and the main area. So I can just take the stairs everywhere. But on these big mega ships, you can't do that. You get lost. It's confusing. I don't like that. Also, the Wander recently announced, this doesn't mean anything to me, but our listeners will probably appreciate this. There's a Bluey experience coming on board.
So excited. So pumped. I hate that it's only in New Zealand because the amount of messages that I got from clients about that and about because Bluey is also coming to Walt Disney World and Disneyland. Like, when? I'm like, we don't have dates. They just said January, okay? Okay, calm down. Like, because parents and children are pumped because we love Bluey.
I know nothing about Bluey.
You should try to watch Bluey. I will tell you right now, we were introduced to Bluey at Walt Disney World because when you watch TV at Walt Disney World, there's not a lot of channels, and so we usually have a Disney channel playing the whole time. We were playing Disney Junior, and like I kept hearing this catchy song, like while I'm over there planning out our attack days and everything. And I'm like, what is that? And the kids are like, I don't know, it's this little blue dog. This was years ago, obviously, when Bluey first came on. And we started watching it. And I was like, this is the best show ever. Anyway, tangent again about Bluey.
Well, I mean, but that is one of the draws for it is people love Bluey because I think we've talked about this previously, but there's like themed days at sea. There's like a Marvel Day at Sea, a Pixar Day at Sea, which those typically are out of Miami. And those are really popular because people really like Star Wars characters or really want to do the Pixar stuff. So having a Bluey experience, that is really cool. And I like that Disney's like, oh, you want this thing? We're going to give it to you because you want it.
We want it. Yes, we do. We want it.
And another pro of the Wonder is the fact that it goes multiple places. That was one of the reason I haven't been on the Fantasy before is because it was always a 7-night in the Caribbean. I'm not interested in that. Yeah. I am interested in going on the Fantasy. I think it's a beautiful ship. So I'm very excited that now I'm going on a 4-night. I do not want to do a 7-night in the Caribbean. So the fact that
I love a 7-night.
I like a 7-night not in the Caribbean.
Fair.
A 7-night in Hawaii, great. 7-night Alaska, great. And guess what? I can do all that on the Wonder because the Wonder has diverse sailing options, not just a number of nights, but in destinations. And I love that. Now, for the cons, one could also argue that the fact that it is small is a con. Katie?
Like a lot to do. Like we're party people. We're I don't know, we just like a lot to do. And I like being impressed and blown away, like my obsession with the treasure, like, yeah.
I mean, that's fair because it still has the kids clubs. Every Disney cruise line has the kids clubs. We didn't talk about the things that don't change just because that's the same.
They're the same. Yeah.
There's kids clubs everywhere. There's a sport deck, there's pools, all that is the same. But the adult area is smaller. They do still have a movie theater, but they don't have all these extra stuff like these mega cruise lines do. And for Katie's family, that's a con. For mine, it's a pro. So, it just depends. Yeah, and that's why we always say talk to us about your cruise needs because we love Disney, but maybe your family would be better suited at a different cruise line because you need more stuff. Or maybe a small cruise line is the way to go and it makes you happy. Oh, it makes me so happy. I love a small cruise. Obviously.
We can tell.
The other con, and that's why I told you don't spoil it for me. There's not enough dining options but it is small. So like there's not enough spaces to fit it. So like on the Wish, if you guys have watched that episode, there's 6 or 7 quick service dining options.
Like a whole shopping center. Quick service. Yeah.
It's a lot. And on the Wonder, they only have 3, which it's not horrible, but like on the Wish, having that cantina was great. Having barbecue was having all these options. It was great. So the dining is a little more limited. There is only 1 upscale restaurant, not 2. Almost all the other ships have a French and an Italian. This one only has Palo, which is the Italian. That's fine. But also, I said more diverse sailings. That also makes it hard to find a sailing that fits your needs.
Yeah, it does. Because I look at those Hawaiis and they are a set time every single year. And I'm like, oh, we can never travel then. Like maybe once the kids are grown, that would be something we could go do. But
which I feel like every pro has an equal and opposite con. So everything that's positive can also be a negative. I love that the Wonder goes all over the place, but because it has to go all these places, even their stops are like, we talked about San Diego. It doesn't have enough time in San Diego. It's like 2 months. It's a really, really short season. Alaska's a little bit longer, which is great, but Hawaii is really short. So if you want to go on these ships, which you highly recommend, we love them, you have to be flexible to Disney's schedule.
Well, and they also like Alaska will book up. It's or usually around this time every year where somebody's like, "Hey, we want to go to Alaska this summer with Disney," and I'm like, "Well, we should have looked at this about 3 or 4 months ago, but let's see what's left." Let me
look at this a year ago.
Yeah, like those they book up. Because I think going to Alaska with Disney is such an experience. Like everyone wants to go to Alaska. Like I've never heard one person say, "Oh, I don't want to do that." Like everyone says, "Oh yeah, I'd go to Alaska one day." And to experience it with the Disney way, they have great ports, great itineraries, all of that. Like they book up fast.
Well, and they actually also do a Frozen experience on the Alaska cruises. It's instead of Pirate Night, they do a Frozen thing.
That's really cool. I watched a video on it the other day.
I was mad about it.
Are you?
Well, because I don't like Frozen and I wanted Pirate Night. I'm like, what the heck is this? But it was cute. I don't know if they still do it because I went in 2015.
No, I literally just watched a video on this summer. Like they were doing the Frozen Night this summer.
Yeah. Well, no, what I was going to say was they had, I don't know if this specific thing, they had a Anna's chocolate scavenger hunt. And like you had, like, I think they had like stickers around the cruise ship and you had to find them all. And then when you found them all, you got chocolate, like a special chocolate.
I would do that.
We did that because I'm all about a scavenger hunt. I think they're super fun. But
and you like free stuff too.
If it's free or a scavenger hunt, count me in. Yeah. So the Wonder, it's a lot simpler. There's not like a ton we have to talk about because the Wonder, the Magic, the Dream, the Fantasy, they're all a similar class of ship. So there's not like on the Wish, there's lots of things that we can say about it that make it unique. But on all these other ships, they are very similar, which I like. But it also leaves us not a ton to share. But I think it's important that everybody kind of understand each ship so you can decide which one is a good fit for you. And sometimes the choices are made for you because that ship only goes to one place.
Yeah, a lot of times you're going to pick your cruise based on the itinerary first, like where do you want to go? And then we'll talk about ships, because it's not always that you have a lot of options, especially Alaska, or say, I only can go out of Galveston. Well, babe, that's the magic. And it's only 3 or 4 months.
Which apparently it was the Wonder at one point in time.
I need you to look up, or I'll look up afterwards. I want to know what year that was.
No, I can tell you what year it was.
Oh, you know?
Yeah, it was 2022. It was because we still had to wear masks and stuff.
Okay. So like you did the Wonder out of Galveston. That's awesome.
Yeah. Because the sailing we did in Alaska, that was 2015. Which was a long time ago.
Yeah, it was.
That was my very first cruise.
Was it really? And you went to Alaska? That is on brand for you.
Because I get motion sickness prone. So I'm like, first of all, smaller ship, I feel like is better. This is where I kick myself, okay? We did an inside stateroom.
That's like the number one rule of what you cannot do in Alaska. Like you were there to see it.
I know. And I was so mad at myself. But I was worried that I was going to get motion sickness. So I'm like, I need to be midship in the middle of the boat. So that way, just in case. And then like I realized it's fine. I'd rather have more space. So like I have to go back to Alaska now because I made that silly mistake. You have to have a veranda with Alaska. You have to.
It's non-negotiable. Like
because we would be like on the deck looking at the glacier and we would hear somebody be like, oh, we were having coffee on our veranda this morning and we saw a bear. And I'm like, oh, forget you.
Yeah. Like that's.
Yeah. So
I can't believe you.
If you're on, I know Hawaii too. Could you imagine?
Maybe you were not a pro expert traveler. Like that's why we have made mistakes so that our clients don't make them. Like that would be a funny like discussion. Like what mistakes have we made in our own personal travel? Like to teach a lot.
And some big, like not getting a veranda on an Alaskan cruise. Some little, like forgetting how you do photo pass at Disneyland Paris. It's fine.
Look at a bad motel in Galveston. Well, it wasn't a motel, it was a hotel, but I walked in there and I was like, because I tend to put my trips on the back burner. Like, and I know you do too, which is why you're scrambling right now because we're both leaving next week. I haven't even packed. And we walk in there and my husband's like, what did my travel agent book? And I was like, just go in there and go to bed. Like, that's all we're doing. I did not vet it like I would a client. Lesson learned.
Lesson learned. But I hope you all take away that we do like the Wonder. It is a perfect fit ship for lots of people. It has lots of itinerary options. We are booking out until 2026. Although it's still weird to me to think that we're in 2025. Time has no meaning and is irrelevant. Happy New Year. But when you guys are ready to talk about sailings, if another thing we should reiterate, the earlier you book, the better. So if you're looking at traveling in 2026, now is the best time to do that for a cruise, of course. Katie and I's information is in the show notes, or you can visit us at alonzi-travel.com/take the trip, and we can work some amazing cruise magic for you and take advantage of the current, well, it's not on the Wonder, but there's current promotions, not for the Wonder, but there are current promotions.
Well, but the 50% off deposits that up until March 15th, sometime in March, you can get 50% off the deposit of any cruise. So, yes.
Oh, yes, hit us up. Let's make some cruise magic for you. I hope you're excited for the Wonder. And until next time, Happy New Year.
Bye.
Bye.